dragon on high crossguard.
Perhaps we haven't met. I'm Discord.
Another chaotic battle!
Taste the scream of death.
Greetings, comrades. This is 88 Gelu, and I'm here with another... Well, actually, this is not a chaotic deck review. I have been asked by, I think, maybe 3 or more people to make a tutorial on how to play chaotic. So, this is part 1 in this series. If you couldn't guess from the title, in this video I will be covering the basics, meaning what each of these cards mean and what makes them different. I will not be going over specifics just yet, like deck building or any of that guff. So, first of all, let's go over creatures. Creatures are your attackers. Each person, depending on the match, you can have a 1v1 match, a 3v3 match, a 6v6 match, or a 10v10 match. Either way, those are the number of creatures you will have on the field. You win a game of chaotic by killing all of your opponent's creatures. With creatures, there are 5 different tribes and then no tribes. Sometimes creatures will have... sometimes you want to keep them in the same tribe, but I will go over why in a later video. So, we have the Mepedians. Mepedians are yellow. We have Tribeless. There are only 4 Tribeless cards, so this will not come up very often. In fact, this is my only Tribeless card, and he is the worst of them. At least I think so. And they are white. And then we have Danians, who are brown. Overworlders, blue, Underworlders, red, and Marillions, which are black. Each of these tribes have a different corresponding Mujic. Mujics are cards that you can play either in or out of battle that have certain effects based on what it says in the card's description. And just like these, there are as I said, there are 1 for each guy, which can only be cast by creatures of their tribe. Except for generic. This is generic. It is the equivalent of tribeless. It can be cast by any tribe. Then there are Overworld Mujics, Underworld Mujics, Danian Mujics, Marillion Mujics, and Mepedian Mujics. I hope that this is making at least a bit of sense to you guys and that I'm not just overwhelming you with these details. So, you know, if something is unclear, feel free to put it in the comments. I will respond to the best of my abilities. And if we need to make another video to clarify this further because I'm doing a crummy job, then please tell me. We will go over the specifics of casting Mujics later, and also of how they work. Basically, all you need to know is there is 1 for each tribe, and they can only be cast by guys of the same tribe. Except for this, which can be cast by anyone, because it's generic. Then we have Battle Gear. Oh, also Mujics aren't used in basic decks, but we'll also go over that later. And by later, I mean in another video. This is a Battle Gear. Battle Gear have this symbol on the top. They are colorless. So basically what sets them apart from tribeless creatures, they don't have all this fancy stuff like these numbers everywhere. Oh, and also creatures have their own symbols at the top. These are also based on their tribe, but all Mujic, apart from coloration, has the same symbol, which is this little shape, octagon, something like that, hexagon, sorry, and all Battle Gear has this shape at the corner. You put on 1 Battle Gear on each of your creatures. And we can go over the specifics of how it works later, but basically what it does is it grants additional effects to your creatures when they are activated. They begin the game face down unless they say they start face up, and when your creature goes into battle, they are flip face up unless flip face down by an effect. I hope that I'm not overwhelming you guys. Then we have locations. Locations have a little compass symbol, and they are sideways. See? Now, locations have two statuses on them. Sometimes 3 if they're mirages, but you know what? We can cover most of locations now because it's a really short thing. So, first off is initiative. The thing that is mentioned here on the side after it says initiative, if your creature has, whichever creature has it, they get to attack first. If both creatures have it, then the person whose location it belongs to goes first, because everyone takes turns in combat, and also including taking turns deciding who to attack. But we can go over that more when I'm actually showing you guys gameplay. Then there is an ability. This is an ability that usually applies to both players. But in some cases it could apply to one player. Then sometimes it will say Mirage. I think we'll go over Mirages later because it's a bit complicated to demonstrate without a battle board. And last, we have attacks. Attacks, instead of having a symbol, they have a number on the top left-hand corner. Depending on the type of deck you're using, you can only have attacks that equal a certain number in both cards and total points. This shows you how many points the attack is worth. This one is worth 1. Then down here we have the damage. This would show what the base damage is, meaning no matter what abilities your creature has, it will always do at least this much damage with the attack. And then we have other attributes. So here are different elements. This one right here, this is the symbol for fire, and it says 15, which means if your creature has fire, it will deal 15. We can go over creature element types later, but also the sections that are blank are the elements that are missing, which are air, earth, and water. And then down here, sometimes there's no additional text, but sometimes there is an additional abilities, which will be mentioned here in this big blank area. Now, I don't think that this video has been very long, but I don't really want to overwhelm you guys. Next time I'll try and see if I can get a battle board out. But I think we could end it off by going a bit more into creatures. Not into abilities, but I think actually we can try and manage going into elements and also stats. So here, I'm going to try and zoom this in. You can see that there are 4 different symbols, each with a number next to them. The heart is courage, the lightning bolt is power, the eye is wisdom, and the weird green dash is speed. The numbers tell you how much of each of these stats your creature has. 50, from 40 to 50 is average. Anything below that is, well, below average. 70s and 80s is high, and anything above 80 is amazing, but that's completely a side point. Stats don't really matter unless your deck is based on a stat or multiple stats. We can go in that later when we get to deck building. This right here, you might notice that this looks like the symbol on a Music card that I showed you right here. That is because this shows you how many Music counters a creature has. This guy has 0, while this guy has 1. That means that he can cast 1 Music that has a cost of 1 Music counter. For example, this Music has a cost of 2, so he can't play it. But this Music has a cost of 1, and it's generic, so he can play that. Then over here we have energy. This is how much life your creature has and how much damage they can take. So this guy is 60. Just like with stats, 40 and 50 is average, and etc., etc. Higher is better and better and better. 60 is pretty good, and anything below 40 is really bad, and you don't want to get them into battle because they are going to get their butts kicked. Then over here we have the element types. Here is air and earth. I already showed you air, so showing you that guy would be pointless. But at the bottom is water, and you guys have already seen fire. I should have brought up a fire guy. Let me see if I have any right next to me. No, but I think you guys understand what fire is, as the symbol for fire is right here, and it would be on the very top section if a creature had fire. Element types, just like stats, are used purely for deck building and also for some abilities, just like with stats. But once again, we can go more over that another time. I have made a real mess. I believe next time we will try and work out basic deck building, starting with 1v1 and maybe 3v3 decks. So, and when I say basic decks, that means without Musics. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't tell you guys how to deck build after I finish explaining to you everything. What am I thinking about? I think I will introduce you guys to, next time, to probably some basic creature abilities, and also how the battle board works. Maybe we'll even get a bit more done. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this hasn't been too confusing. It's a lot easier when I have taught people this game before, but it's a lot easier when you can actually have a conversation with someone than just recording a video on it, because then I don't know if I'm teaching it in a way that you guys can understand it or not. But enough of my excuses. If you guys would rather just see some videos on how to make some good basic decks, you can hop on over to Speed Player A's channel. I will put a link in the description, and hopefully, if I remember it, I will also put it somewhere on the video, probably at the end. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. Goodbye.